got Batman, you got Eddie, you got Laka. It must be you got Holding for the laddish sort of band. You got the random bands, you got the lad bands. It must be lit, man. It must be lit, man. It must be lit, man. Now, hopefully, Brentford, Leicester, because I don't mind. I'd rather Leicester than Liverpool. I'd rather Brentford than Chelsea. Respectfully, you know, I'd rather Spurs than West Ham, really. But I don't want Spurs to win. So hopefully West Ham can do their jobs. Let's keep running up the like button. Let me know what you make of the game, people. You know, I think I, of all people, know Patino, who Charlie Patino is. But remember the name. I mean, we should be shameless. Where's my interview I did with him a few years ago? Should be shameless. You gotta be shameless in this life. Where is it? Where is it? $10K views. When the hell did it get to that? Fucking hell, that's probably gonna see a spike as well. You gotta be shameless, bro. You gotta be shameless, man. You gotta be shameless. I'm so proud, man. So proud. Oh, it's actually playing. Obviously, you know, I know Charlie Patino is going to be the name on everyone's lip. I was looking greasy them times. He was looking slightly younger them times. But yeah, man, go and take in that interview. That was last year. Mad. Time flies, man. So, boy, man. Was that pigeon era? Nah, man, we evolved slightly because that was lockdown. In fact, it might be, you know, because funny enough, you know, before we did this full time, I used to just skive off on the work breaks and that, or when I'm supposed to be at meetings to do these things. These things were under severe pressure. So it might have been. It might have been. What I would say for everyone is avoid hot takes on young players, man. There's a lot of hot takes, and I get it. There's excitement. There's all these things, but people just need to chill off. Why is Streamlad's opening? We don't need you today. Wouldn't say I'd be wearing that. I knew you'd be proud, DG. I wouldn't say I'm the father. I'm just someone who likes Halo, man. Feel for Balor. I don't feel for him. It's the end of the world. You ain't lost your life. Yeah, you didn't have, for me, Balogun didn't have a bad game. What's there to feel for him? You were out of your depth. You weren't the showman today. This is it. This is the levels. You know, this is what I like. What did you do good today? What did you do bad? What I like that Balogun did well today is he got in the right positions. He tried to put himself around. He didn't show fear. He tried to have a shot. What I feel he did, I feel Balogun forced it a lot. I feel at times a lot of what he was trying at 23's level, it ain't going to happen. Sometimes you're shooting for no reason. Your head's down. Was involved in the goal that Tavares was involved in. Didn't not helped playing left wing, of course not. But at the same time, when you can't get minutes, getting minutes is something. And, you know, you've got to be able to play multiple roles as a footballer. Yeah, he's a striker, but he's got to show he can do a job out there. And really, that helps him because you have to do things quicker out wide. You don't have as much time. The angles aren't quite as good. So in the grand scheme of things, it's going to help him develop. You know, this and Brentford are the two biggest games in this guy's career because they're the games you can learn from. You're not going to learn from beating up Derby's under 23s or Brighton's and them things there. Some of the things he tried to do, you know, half the things he tried to do today, they happen at 23s. What I like about moments like this or games like this, I want him to be disappointed. I want him to score goals, but there's no false sense of ability here. You know, when you're playing the occasional check or trade trophy or them 23s games, there is a false sense of ability. You know exactly where you are and the levels that you need to go on. He's a young lad. He'll learn from this, but I think this just shows that, you know, it would be good if Balogun could just, you know, just pattern a little loan for himself and do what he needs to do in that regards. But this is where we need to avoid hot takes. Balogun was the best thing since sliced bread last week. You know, he scores a goal. He's clipped up for 10 seconds on Twitter. Everyone calls Arteta a dickhead for not playing him. Then you have moments like this where people say he's not ready. You then go and look at, Patino. Patino's going to struggle at times, as good as he's been since he's come in. Patino's a baller. Do you know why Patino's going to have a good career? I can't speak for Balogun. I've never had a conversation with him, but I've done an interview with Patino. Why do you think Charlie's going to be a good guy? His mentality is a bit like Amari Hutchinson. His mentality is spot on. His feet are going to be on the ground. Of course, you're a young man. You scored for Arsenal. You're playing for Arsenal. You're going to be gassed. Of course. but he's not going to think he's achieved anything, and as he shouldn't, you know. So when he has that occasional game where he's played in midfield away from home or for Arsenal, and he struggles, it's got to be expected. You can't be a skillful sailor if you're only in oceans that are not strong currents, and that you can't be a good swimmer if you've never been in the deep end. Balogun can't be a good striker if you're just beating up nobodies. Patino can't be, you know. The next step is, can you do it from the start? Can you do it away from home? Can you do it consistently? You know, don't avoid hot takes. People really underestimate how difficult it is to make improvements in life, much less football, to be consistent, to consistently play at a high level. And obviously, you know, you lot can see the passion I've got for young players. Again, I know I waffle about Arsenal's first team and whatnot, but when it all comes down to it and it's all said and done, it's all about Haaland for me, or via Luton Haaland for Charlie Patino. It's a great moment. We've got to remember, you know, lovely for Eddie to score a hat-trick for this football club. First career hat-trick, scoring a hat-trick. That's stuff that man are dreaming of at Haaland. Patino making his debut and scoring. Balogun played. You've been crying for playing games. You've got it now. It's the big leagues. Respectfully, that's a half-decent League One side who finished third and who are third right now and who are extremely experienced. Only gets harder then. This is why you lot need to have this false sense of perception. Premier League loan, all these things are fallacies. I want Balogun to go on loan in the Premier League, but it's not going to happen. And if you're fighting relegation, or if you need goals right now, if it's not quite happening for him, you're going to pull him out the side. That's why we need to slow down. These men are early 20s. They're not going to be there since sliced bread. So just calm it down. No one is ever as good as they think they are in life when things are going wrong, and they're never as bad, you know. What I want to see is real development, because we should be in a scenario where we could be looking at making some real money for Eddie. Instead, we're kind of at his mercy, because he can leave for free and he can agree moves in January. What I hope is that Patino and Aziz, when he comes back, they're ready. They're not going to be ready today. They're not going to be ready tomorrow. But it's a fantastic moment for these young lads, really. And you can see Eddie and Nketiah. Come on, man. A young kid from South London or from London, you know, scoring a hat-trick for Arsenal Football Club, scoring in a professional game, playing in a big stadium. Who never dreamed of that? I definitely dreamed of that. So whether you rate Eddie or not, the man there living the dream. You know, make sure it stays a dream. For Eddie, you probably need to depart. For Balogun, you need to go on loan. For Patino, let's just take our time with him. There will be spots opening up. I genuinely think Charlie Patino will be an Arsenal first team player. Just let the man develop. Physically, take your time. Speed of thought, take your time. That's one thing I have confidence with. Mikel Arteta knows what he's doing with Charlie Patino, and Charlie knows what he's doing off his own back, because he's really motivated, in my opinion. You know, he's worked a lot physically on himself as well. You might not see it because you've seen him for 10 minutes or so, but it is what it is. There's a lot of defining. Just allow these young players to develop, man. You know, how many hot takes have been drawn across Saka and Smith Rowe? People used to say not too long ago Smith Rowe weren't good enough because he was sort of in the same sort of bracket with Joe Willock and Nketiah a few years ago. You know, look what a loan spell did for him. People really underestimate. Certain players are going to be better at things than others. Certain players are going to adapt quicker than others. Certain players are going to get a look to the first team. They're just going to hit it off, and that bump is going to come later. Certain players have that bump. Everyone's career is different. Everyone's development is different. No two players are the same. What might work for one ain't going to work for another. Too often than not, people don't take heed of this or truly understand it. They say it, but they do not heed it, in my opinion. But what do I know? I'm just an honest football fan, eh? Just let these young players develop in peace, man. DG, anyone impress you from Sunderland? The whole team did well, in my opinion. They all had a commitment, FC, man. Come on, DJ. I remember when you used to go to the park on your breaking up load. Boy, I ain't gonna lie, we ain't where we need to be, but I don't miss them days at all. I do not miss the pitches. I do not miss things blowing away. I do not miss people looking at my camera or me like I'm a fucking weirdo. Is what it is. I think Patino's got an agent where I need to be scouting some 10-year-olds in that to become the next ones. But the agency thing, why not, man? YouTube might be the wrong profession still. This is a call to anyone in this football world to take a look at what Deluded Goudas do with his platform. Air chair punditry, real football focused interviews with future talent. Hey, man. So cutting onions, man. One day, man. I mean, I don't know in 2 years. Let's let the man develop, man. It could be 6 months. It could be 2 years. It could be 3 years, man. DG's analysis is astute. Deserve to be a respected Arsenal commentator. I don't know, man. we should get at least 25 million for Eddie, considering Brewster and Solanke went for that. I mean, they were big up coach Joe Lammy. We could, but they went for top money. And, you know, them teams weren't stupid enough to let their contracts run down. And at least Solanke is kind of, you know, Solanke, Liverpool committed fraud, but he was relatively doing okay. And Brewster, he went into the championship and he did, at least for Swansea, bag a lot of goals. Eddie ain't done that, you know. If I look at it on a harsh thing, and not to belittle Eddie, but what's he done that we didn't know? We know this is his competition. What, he's bagged up a League One side. Should be able to do that. You know, Eddie's a competent guy. Why haven't you played consistently? That's just me. I would love 25 million. I think we should have been developing and being in a situation where you can make 20 million for Tyrese, John Jules, Balogun, and Eddie and Ketia if the decision to sell them was that. You know, we need to, not every player is going to hit the heights. As much as I want every player to progress, you're going to get the Iwobis, the Joe Willets, you know. Eddie and Ketia at this moment, it looks like, in my opinion, unless a miracle happens, probably Maitland-Niles, and that some guys can hang around for a season, and then it's probably not that. Not everyone can do the Saka and whatnot thing. Is what it is. Left back got rinsed, blood. And United do. Martial still a young player at 26. Sorry, Shakib, man. You know the ones there. I just saw you attacking us. Thoughts on Everton? Underperforming, man. Patino, man of the match, overdoing it. Sunderland played better than I've seen some Prem teams play this season, boy. DG, how does it feel to know that you were the first to interview an Arsenal legend? I don't know if he's an Arsenal legend. I don't know if I was the first. What I do know is that I take pride in that. He just gave man an opportunity to like ask him some questions, bro. Like with all of these young players, man, it's nice to just ask these guys questions. And one thing I like, and they've said it, they feel comfortable when I interview them. That's been the biggest pleasure. Even people that are not footballers that I've had, it's like I make man feel comfortable. Yeah, galley too for you haters, but I make the people them feel comfortable, and I just feel these lot don't get it. Like for all the young players interviews I've did, whether they've been at Arsenal or not, you could see they're kind of nervous, they're kind of shy because they don't know about none of that. And because they're used to people trying to get hot takes and catch them out. Like there's been so many times, you know, I could have done the madness, asked these players some mad questions, and what would it get me? It'll get me nothing. It wouldn't get me decent relationships with any coaches, with any agencies, with any agents, with any players. You know, one thing I like with the small little connections I've got is they all know first things first. I speak what's on my mind, and I speak from a place of integrity. I'm not just going to cap for no reason, and I speak from a place of genuine passion for young talent and whatnot. You know, again, one thing I like about YouTube, I wouldn't say it's leveled up the ball game because football is something, but I've always thought this way. I've always had this passion, but one thing that's never separate, that's been difficult is if you don't know me, then you don't know that with YouTube, then you can see a paper trail. Like eventually, every so often, you know, I don't try to have this crystal ball. I just talk about players. Every so often, you'll see videos resurface, and obviously, the industry knows because we're making noise, and you don't know. Things speak for themselves. People speak for themselves. The streets speak for themselves. I don't need to blow my own trumpet. That comes from a place of immaturity and actually insecurity. You know, it's all without statement. But in relation to these young players, just let them and they're developing it. Just let them develop. Eddie is great, but has he done it in the Premiership? No. There's got to be a reason. Takes time. Chelsea, the way Chelsea prepare their players for first team football is different. Physically, them and they're already from under 18s. You know, our young players, I'd say it probably takes about 20 years of age to get ready. Joe Willett, we had to wait a while. You know, I do think we're gonna have to be patient with Patino in that regards. Maybe even Miguel Aziz. I think they're ready technically, but physically to play Premier League football and assert themselves. It took Smith Rowe a second, and he's still developing. You know, I think he's coped with the physical demands and he's brushed man aside. But against Sunderland, he got bullied today. It's taken Eddie. I think Eddie only looked a bit better physically when he come back from the loan spell at Leeds. That's me personally. Written in the stars, I'm happy, man. Man like you, Rance, Matisse, just want to chat ball like regular people. That's all you need to do. Melvin, trust me. And obviously, big up Rance and Matisse. But we got some real star boys here. It is what it is, man. Sunderland fan here. Well played, mate. You definitely outmuscled us. I think we put a performance on that we can be proud of today, seeing as we're 2 leagues below you. Look, exactly. You let's be real. I know we rotated the team and things like that, but you wouldn't have seen that. And you're right with that. I think this end of the day, I can't say the scoreline's harsh because we scored the goals in it. Like, and reviewing all them goals, I'm sure if you concede 5, there's a lot better. But I think in many ways the scoreline is very harsh. Arsenal can't let Eddie walk for free. I mean, Arteta's probably going to be DMing him and messaging him. I bet you Arteta's going to text Eddie Nketiah, did you get home safe after this game when they all go and the Emirates door close off? But the reality is we should have been gassing him time ago. We should have been getting Eddie to sign a new deal them times he come back from Leeds just to give ourselves this position, We shouldn't have to wait till a man's the contract is running down. How good would it be to sit here and be like, all right, cool. If he wants to keep it moving, slap some top dollar on it. What I do like with Eddie is, he keeps asking Arteta the question. Arteta keeps playing him, so maybe a contract resolution's there, but the man's gone for free, man. Look at the run from Patino off the ball as well. Look at it. Like I said, mentally, technically, he's there. It's just a physical thing. And then obviously it's about refining, speed of thought, all of those sort of things. Patino's ready. Just give him a bit of time to be fully there. Lovely. So man didn't even know how to celebrate. Bring up Charlie. Man didn't even know how to celebrate. Didn't even prepare for that. But lovely for Haaland, man. Lovely for Haaland, man. How lovely is that, man? How lovely is that? And above all, bro, that's a good moment for his fucking family, man. Like, do you know how much driving his mum and dad have probably had to do throughout his young career, and go everywhere. Them little moments make it worth it. The chances of becoming, no matter how good any of these guys are, you got to remember that the odds of becoming a professional footballer is very light. It's not good enough. It's not that big. And we've got to remember, whatever people say, no one can take it away from Charlie, Patino, Flo Balogun or Eddie. They have become professional footballers, different stages, but they have played for Arsenal Football Club. These moments make it worth it. Instantly Arsenal's decision has been backed up signing someone that got released by Chelsea. The X amount of thousand we probably took on paying Luton for Charlie Patino, Balogun's development. And long may it continue, man. I hope they all can develop. Again, I hope everyone can do their thing. My dream is to have a squad of 11 starters in our 25-man squad that are all eligible from the academy, from first team. I mean, from a goalkeeper to a striker. Now, that's an impossible dream, but that should be the aspiration. Very proud, man. You can't do the gym thing too early, though, because you kill, man. Let alone scoring at the Emirates, man. Big up Patino, another one you're going to see in the team viewer kit soon. Look at this cheeky twat, man. You made me really start watching the youth. Come on, man. They deserve a little bit of shine. I mean, I'm not being funny, but if Arsenal were here, I mean, who better to interview the talents on the official Arsenal channel? Who better to do the reports when our under 18s and 23s play? Like, hello, it makes sense. You want the best local talent. I'm a North Londoner as well. I know technically there's that toilet bowl stadium right next to me and I can hear them when they celebrate and whatnot. But I mean, hello. One day, innit? One day, man. One day. The real gonna win one day, man. It's not who you know. It's not what you know. It's who you know. Hopefully, I'll start knowing them people there, man. Hopefully, I'll start knowing them people there. Obviously, people, 426 likes. You lot are moving mad. Can we get to 500? If you've done that, big up yourselves, man. I don't think the scoreline looked massively harsh. It was unlucky for us with Broadhead going off because Hume had nothing on Pepe. Good luck for the rest of the season. Likewise with you lot, man. I think Eddie is one of them strikers you'll start see balling at 27. That's it. And again, fans don't have patience because fans want a million young players, but they want the squad to be competitive and they want to get 3 points. If you lot really wanted Balogun to play, then you have to admit there'd be games like this, or there might be games in the Premier League where he misses a chance and the opposition got the other end and score, or he misses an opportunity that them 3 points could have got you top 4. In the same way you've seen Tavares, Ben White, hell of Arsenal players make mistakes. They're younger, but to a different standard. People they don't understand this. You want young centre halves to play, but you don't want them to get absolutely ripped. Everybody just thinks young players, it's just about balling out. And what I would say to Eddie and Balogun, very few strikers were the finished article at 20 odd, their ages. Where was Vardy? Where was Aubameyang? Where was Kane? I'm not saying these guys are ever going to be anywhere near these guys, but It takes a lot, unless you're them star boy sort of strikers, you know. For me, Greenwood and amongst others, it's difficult. Forget the reporting, did you get yourself in the scouting network? Anything, man. Pepe was on smoke. Need more of that. Need more of that. Facts, broski. But bro, I know you lot can bad up these teams there, man. I know Pepe's the guy for the cup competitions. I know Eddie's the guy for the cup competition. So if I'm looking at it on a harsh thing, man, I ain't learned nothing, man. Big up you because it's 6 a.m. in Malaysia. Pepe destroying guys, man. Found his level, some might say. But I think we have to, you know, I don't know, but I'd give Xhaka his praise for today as well, man. Come on, my guy. One day, man. One day we keep grinding, we keep working, man. This summer, to be a top club, we need to bin the bang average players and replace them properly with good squad players and a few game-changing players that can create and take this game by the scruff of the neck. I'd agree. Because, you know, we need to just get a certified 11, but we're in that stage where you can't convincingly say we've got, you know, there's a massive drop-off and stuff, man. Who would you rather get in the semis? Spurs, Brentford? But I say that I want West Ham to win. So by default, West Ham, Brentford, Leicester, on current form, Leicester, you know, I think they might throw the cups. I don't think anyone wants to play Liverpool. In fact, saying that, you know, it's probably the best time to play Chelsea and Liverpool. They're struggling with a couple of knocks and whatnot. So probably one of them ones, if I'm completely honest with you, my broski. But yeah, let's recap the game quickly. What's the timestamp, man?